Right, hey guys, this is Mama Good Vibes, aka Mama J Kush. Right, welcome to my YouTube channel, homemade cooking, homemade meals with Mama Good Vibes. You know, right here in the office, my favorite office, the kitchen, we do it with good vibes. You know, homemade meals are always the best. You know, when you go to a restaurant, you just see the menu, you order what they say they prepared, but you don't really know what they put inside the meals, right? But at home, you control what you put, the ingredients, the spices, and all of that. So today, I'm gonna be making what Daddy Good Vibes ordered. I'm gonna be making sadza with spinach and lamb stew and bean stew, right? So let's go for it. Let's cook before he arrives from work, you know what I mean? And then we're gonna prepare everything and serve at the table. It's gonna be a simple meal, really, a simple one, right? But you know, preparation takes a little time, especially if made with love. Homemade meals are always made with love. So let's go for it. Let's start. Okay, please don't forget to subscribe, share, and like, you know what I mean? Right, this is not a professional page. It's not professional. It's just homemade, just like home, just like normal. Take it that way, you know? Just like you have visited this home and we are just cooking the normal way. No professionalism, right? We do it with love and care, but it's not a professional one. But welcome to my page. Please share, subscribe, and share. Hey guys, yes, so Daddy Good Vibes is coming from work. He requested for Sadza papa on sima. So I've prepared my tomatoes, sweet peppers, red onions, and my favorite Reiko Usabi mix. This is my all-in-one spice for even for coating, for soups and all of that. So I'm gonna fry this frozen spinach, and this is sugar beans. When they arrive from home, I boil them with salt and pack them in different packs like that. So I'm gonna use that and fry here. Then here I've boiled my lamb. This is lamb, so I'm gonna make lamb stew and that, and then I will make sadza. Let's do it. Right, so I'm gonna start with the stew. I'm gonna start with the stew. Looking for apron because the oils, if they go, I've ruined a lot of my clothes when I'm cooking without apron, and then the oils they're splashing on my t-shirts or clothes, you know. Right, like that. So I'm gonna make the bean stew here. So I'll put some oil here. Right, so, and my meat is done, so I'll put oil. You know, this is homemade cooking. Not much of a fuss. It's not like professional cooking, so it's just homemade, just as simple as that. So doing it Mama Good Vibes way. So I'm gonna fry my meat a bit. Multitasking. I love that. Yeah, here I'm gonna add some onions. Fry some onions here. Still not yet hot. I'm gonna add and leave some for the meat. You know. And then some onions for the meat. Smells yummy. So when I'm doing sadza papa on sima, my stews, I want them to taste as natural as possible, which means I'm not gonna put a lot of spices. You know what I mean? We want the taste. You know how our grandma, like me, I grew up with my grandma, so I always miss her kind of cooking when everything is well cooked. Tasting if the flavor of lamb. If you put too many spices, they take away the flavor of the lamb. right? Just to add a bit of color. These are sweet peppers, you know, sweet peppers, red and orange, just a bit of color in both stews, bean stew and the lamb stew. So the lamb stew, when I'm doing for Sadza, to serve with Sadza, is as simple as possible, like without a lot of stuff. But when I'm doing, like for example for rice, yeah, I put a lot like carrots and all the other different, and I put a little bit more of the spices too. Right, then I'm putting onions here. Just a simple lamb stew. So when I boil my meats, all my meats when I'm boiling, I boil with spices. But with this one, I didn't put, like I'm saying, too many, so that it retains the natural flavor. Right, before this alarm goes. So I just realized I don't have the tinned chopped tomatoes, so I cut these tomatoes myself, and it's how we used to do it anyway, growing up. Oh, we couldn't afford the tin, the bottled whatever, the tomatoes back then. So we would buy fresh tomatoes and cut like this. So here I'm making first soup, so that I will make very nice soup and then add the beans to the bean stew. You know? Multitasking. So before I mix my tomatoes with the meat, I'll just cook them in the middle like this, just breaking the chunks, you know, like that. I will be frying the same with this. When they soften, and I'll be frying to break the chunks. So here, normally I have this magic salad spice which is finished. If I had that, I wouldn't put salt because my beans already have salt, but because I don't have, I'll put just a tiny bit of salt. We don't eat too much salt here. Like that. Just a little bit, because the beans, I boil them before freezing. I boil them with salt. Like so, it's working. Then I'm gonna add Royco usabi mix. So I just add like that, not too much, because I want this to taste as natural as possible, because it's to be served with Sadza. So I put Royco, you know, Royco thickens and it needs to cook to take away the smell, like right. So I haven't mixed the tomatoes yet. I'm just making this soup right in the middle. Let me show you. Right, let me finish this because it's burning. So Sam, I'm gonna add a bit of Royco. This is beef Royco. Wasabi mix. Then for this, I'll put a little bit. You see how it thickens the whole thing. So I'll put a little bit more of the water. Like that. Then when I put the beans, it's gonna be boiling with the beans until it thickens. That's what we like for the beans. The thick soup. What did I want to show you? Oh, I wanted to show you how the soup was looking like before mixing. But now, oops, crazy. This, right, sorry. Now this is looking like that. Now I'm starting to mix the soup. You see how it's looking. And this one, I'm gonna add the beans too, like that. And it's smelling so good, so good, like that. So this is how we taste homemade food. Awesome. Nice stew, so I'll put on low heat to simmer. But it's looking so good. Let me bring closer. Look how it's looking. So good. Like that. It's looking so good. So I'll leave it. Then we'll see how it will. Oh my gosh. Right, so this is boiling already. So the frozen beans. So when they come from home, I leave them soaked overnight in cold water. Then in the morning, I'll boil them with salt and pack them. So when I need, because you know they take long to boil this. So this is already cooked. So all I need is to make the stew. So you see it's frozen. So by the time the water is boiling, the soup is boiling, taking in the flavor of the beans. You'll see how the bean stew is gonna be looking like. Super duper. Super duper. You know what I mean? Right, so this is done. Oh my gosh, it's looking amazing. For Sadza, you know. Let me show you. This is how it's looking. Like that. Okay, so that's the stew. Let me close. It's done. I need to put my spoon here in this spoon holder. This is done. Let me swap these. So you see, I just put it frozen. So it's gonna be. Where is the lid? Close. Then I'm gonna fry. I'm gonna fry in the pan the frozen spinach. I love the spinach so much. Also, if I had the magic syrup, this spice that I use, instead of putting salt, I would put the magic syrup. It would be so nice. But because I don't have it, I'm gonna use this. I'll put just a little bit more of oil because this sucks in oil a lot. Like, you know what I mean? So let's see. Excuse me. So for this, I'm just gonna use a little bit of salt and some royco, just a little bit as well. just to add the flavor and taste. So because this smoke sense of ours is very sensitive, so I'll not wait for this oil to heat up before I put this, because frying veggies normally is heating the oil. So to avoid that, let me close a bit because it's very sensitive and the noise is just full. Oh, where's the proper lid? So to let the ice down, I'll do that. I will do that. Right. So this shoe is doing good there. Right, so better now. So I'll put just a little bit of salt. You don't need too much salt here, but you don't. If you put just a little bit, like for my husband, it's like we do it every day. So like that. You could still just have it with just salt, but I'll put just a little bit of. This is my thing. This is my all-in-one spice, like I always tell you. All-in-one spice, all-in-one soup. I love it. It does the magic cooking for Mama Good Vibes. You know what I mean? So this suction oil you see disappearing. So I'm just frying the spinach, frozen spinach. I love it. And my husband loves it too. So like that. For the love of home cooked food. You see, I'm putting the amount of salt that we want here, the soups that we like, the spices that we like. At a restaurant, you just eat what's been prepared. You know, you don't know what they put in there. You can read what they say, how much they say, but you don't know if it is real. So homemade food, and don't forget, this is not a professional cooking page. It's just homemade, just a normal, you know, surviving cooking, surviving farming, you know what, that kind of stuff. So there are so many professional cooking pages out there. This one is just homemade cooking, homemade meals according to Mama Good Vibes, in Mama Good Vibes kitchen. You know what I mean? So it's just that simple, easy. It's just like chilling. It's just like you visited in my house and I'm cooking my way of cooking for you. Then if you want to take it, adopt it, then that I'm telling you, this will be so super nice. This spinach is very nice, frozen. I haven't tried the fresh one because here the kind of spinach that the fresh one you find here is different from the one that we used to eat back where I come from in Zim. So it's like I've never been bothered, but I should. One of the days I'll buy the fresh one and just cook it. So this is the spinach, and it doesn't take time to cook. It's actually done. The tasting is like this, like my grandma taught me, but sometimes it's hot, this thing. So that's a little bit more. It's nice. It is very nice. But we still have some frozen bits here, so it needs to cook. Let me add just a little bit of water. We love well-cooked food here. Well-cooked, whether it's meat, well done. You know when you're ordering at a restaurant, you're like, oh, well done. Though when you, in other restaurants, when you say well done, they kind of blame it, you know. But home, we know well done, what it is like. So, the bean stew. You see, all the beans separated now. So the soup is starting to thicken, took in the flavor of the beans. I'll show you at a closer range. Let me just finalize the spinach. Whilst I'm doing this, I'm gonna add water for Sadza to boiling. Yes. Right. So I'm gonna turn on this. So water is boiling for Sadza. So this spinach is done. Nice. Spinach is done. Here. So next is the Sadza pap on simmer. Which pot am I using? Right, so for Sadza, I'm gonna be using this pot here. So what I've done is I've put some cold water here, right? And now I'm taking millimil, right? So I'm gonna put mix millimil with cold water and make into a paste, right? Just make into a paste. Make sure it's well mixed before I add the boiling water. Okay, so my bean stew is done. My bean stew is done. Like that. It's looking so good. Let me show you. And it is thickened like I was telling you. See, like that. The soup is thickened, so it's looking like that. That's the bean stew to serve with Sadza. Not so many spices, not, you know what I mean? Like that. So this is my bean stew done. Spinach done, lamb stew done. Now, I was forgetting this. Better it's still okay. So this is starting to thicken. So the paste, I'm gonna add now cold water. Homemade food for the family. This is so nice to be eating what you make for yourself, using the kind of ingredients that you want, the type of preparing the type of food that you want to eat. You know, I always, you know, when we go eat out, like there's this one restaurant that they have something that I really like the T-bone and all that, but the, what do you call it, the compo has got, you have to buy it with like shrimps and the other things that we don't eat. So you just have to buy. At one point, the first days we used to tell them, we don't eat shrimps, can't you substitute with something? Or maybe fries at least, but they didn't want to. But as we became more frequent customers, now when you go, they know we don't like shrimps, so they put either some veggies or some. So you don't want that. At home, you don't even buy the shrimps if you don't eat them. You just cook what you eat. You just, you know, in the groceries you buy what you know you eat. Homemade cooking, homemade meals, the joys of cooking. And like in the diaspora, we get to miss this kind of stuff, you know. This is like home tasting food, right? We miss it. So meal, like for us, we don't find it much. This is almost finishing. So we have to find somebody who is coming from Zim or probably other places where they can get this and buy us, and then we keep in the freezer to take us. So at least if you get that, then you get to do homemade cooking like that. So my Sadza paponsima, I have mixed, it's thickening there. And then when it starts like, what's the term can we use for this? Boiling or popping or whatever it's called, then I'll close it and let it boil for 20 minutes. Then after 20 minutes, I'll add more meal to make it firm to the Sadza that we are used to the pap on sima, you know. People, they make it in different ways. So you see, it's boiling or whatever, bubbling, whatever. Then close. 20 minutes for us. Some they do less, but me, my grandma taught me well cooked, you know. So I let it do this for 20 minutes and then I'll start mixing. Oh, there's a cake here. My daughter made this cake. I think we'll use it after Sadza paponsima. We'll use it for with custard. We'll make custard, and she made the cake, vanilla, right, like that. So all my stews are done. The lamb. Let me show you once again how everything is looking. Then I'll show you when I dish, when it's in the plate. So this is lamb stew, right? This is spinach for the veggies, and this is bean stew, sugar bean stew, like that. And this is Sadza. You see how it's boiling or making bubbles, whatever you want to call it. So while this my Sadza is doing that, I'll start clearing some of the things that I'm not needing anymore, and just cleaning up a bit, you know. It's the kitchen mess, you know, not like. So let's do the dishes here. This thing is not very. I don't know where my other. Oopsie daisy. So now is the dishwasher. Oh, there's nothing. Oh. Sometimes when I'm lazy, when I see there's something in the dishwasher, you know, you're lazy to empty, I'll just wash and put on the rack. So now I'm just gonna be rinsing. Right, I'm gonna be rinsing rinsing and putting in the dishwasher because it's empty. That's what I have made today. So, putting in the dishwasher. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes. So my sadza is good to finalize now. So I'm gonna add a meal like that. I don't want it to be too thick. Yeah, some people they like it like really firm, but us we want it. We call it kasazakatete. You know, you have to be careful because sometimes it will be popping out of the pot. I've got so many bends from Sadza. So I will mix like that. Like that. So you have to be a little faster. If you don't do that, it will have lumps, you know. I'm sure I've made a bit of lumps there. Once it moves into a lump, it will be so difficult to break the lumps, you know. So like that. So I'll add just a little bit more of the delivered. This is enough. No more than that. We don't want this. We don't want it thick, too thick. Find the consistency. It's fine. It's okay. It has to be well mixed. Like my husband is very good at this. If he cooks Sadza for you guys, you will eat it just like that. I don't know how he does it. Maybe the men's strength. It will be tasting so nice. You can eat well mixed. There is something about it. I can only try. So, like that. So I'm gonna close it for maybe 2 more minutes and then I'll mix it again. I've made some tiny lumps in there because when I was checking my hand and then that moment some 2 minutes, then I do again. So as you can see, I've made a meal, right? So when I dish, I'll show you how everything will be looking like in the plate. Homemade meal, right? With the flavors of Africa. You know, this is African tasting meal, you know. Sadza, all this. But in Mama Good Vibes Kitchen, you know, we do everything. English style meals, Arabic style meals, you know, but then I just tweak it into my own style, my own way. Because like for example, biryanis will be too herbal, spicy and all that. Where I come from, we are very calm when it comes to such. So I'll use like for example the Royco Osayi mix is my thing. It's my all-in-one spice when I'm coating stuff, and you see me using it the most. Like my brother is coming from them, he's gonna bring me a bag of Royco Osayi mix. I love the chicken the most, though I use even beef. Like today I use beef, but I love the chicken the most. Chicken, do I have it near the pack, what it looks like? This is my kind of thing, my all-in-one spice. I love this one the most, though I still use this one, you know, like that. And also madras from Zim for baked beans. When I fry onions and I add madras and baked beans, the taste is different. My kids didn't like to eat beans anymore, but when I started that recipe, they started. So right, let me mix for the last time, then I'll dish. I will dish like that. See? Daddy Good Vibes is here. Right. Right, so it's done. And at the right time, Daddy Good Vibes. You see at the start of the video, I said Daddy Good Vibes requested Sadza. You know?
Sadza.
Yes. This hot. So this is the guy I'm cooking for. Homemade food, right? Yes. Yes. So, these two. Sadza. This is all the lemons, lamb stew, and spinach. Nice. And some cultured milk. Yeah, let me mix the cultured milk. My husband likes it at the last. Me, I eat the milk at the start because my grandma used to tell me that when you eat something with salt the last, so your mouth is still not tasting nice and you are drinking more water. But my husband likes the milk at the last. Like that, yes. Right, guys, so the meal is done. Like I told you about cultured milk, we used to eat lacto where I come from, but here in the diaspora you can't find lacto. So what I'm doing, I've got this bowl here, and then there is this fresh laban here. This is fresh cream. And this is fresh yogurt, right? Plain. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this, I'm doing 2 of the laban in here. Sometimes if there's nothing else, you can just use laban by itself. It's better, but it's too like watery a bit. So now it's just, this yogurt is different, the container from the other one, but it's just different brands, but it's the same thing. So I've done 2 labans, 2 fresh yogurts, 2 fresh yogurts. Why did I open 2 fresh cream? I need 1. I need 1 fresh cream. I need 1 fresh cream. Because if I put 2, it will be too creamy, you know. You'll be tasting the cream more than. So I just, for the cream, I put 1. Like that. And then, so I have 3 ingredients here, then I start mixing. Right? Until it's well mixed. Then I would have done a substitute of the cultured milk. So, home in the diaspora. You see the beauty of homemade preparing meals like that. So it's mixing well. It will be like this, a bit thicker. Then I'll save, you know. So yes, guys, our meal's done. So I'm gonna be saving and just enjoy the homemade. Nice, nice, nice. It's well mixed now, like that. Alright guys, so I'm gonna be dishing. Right, so I'll start with Sadza Pakwazima. So what I do is I just put water in this bowl, just so it's wet inside, right? And then I'll put my Sadza. So it's actually getting a little bit more firm, so I should have put less. Right, so first I'm dishing. This spinach was popping, right? Let's get another plate. So the rest, they say they want to eat a bit later, so I'm gonna dish just for the Good Vibes and myself. Right, so like that. No men, they like that Sadza. When it comes to this rice, you can put just a little bit, but when it comes to this, for the good rice, it has to be, you know, let it settle a bit. Right, and then when it settles a bit, I'm just gonna do like that. So that's Sadza dished, and I'll put just a little bit for myself, you know. This is, I normally use the small plate there. It's not gonna come out very nice because it's just a little bit in the corner. Like for Mama Good Vibes, this one. Right, so I'll leave this for the rest to share. And comes spinach. The Good Vibes needs hot food, so I just warmed this, so it's good. Right, spinach. There's some here. Spinach in. Spinach for Mama Good Vibes. I love this the most. Right, spinach done. Sugar beans. That. Sugar beans. That's an African taste in meals. How we used to do it back then. Our grandma teaching us. I love beans too, but normally I love beans for breakfast. That's like me. Let me put a bit more for the Good Vibes. Right, like that. And then finally, this is lamb stew. So finally, where should I put lamb? I should have moved this just a bit to this side. So lamb. Right, home tasting meal. I'll just have one. I'm not in for the meat, but just spinach. Right. This is good enough for Mama Good Vibes, like that. Okay, so then I've put some ice in there for the juice. You know how we're supposed to drink 15 minutes after, but we are just used to bringing it onto the table. And for Mama Good Vibes, just a little bit. And then before I forget, the cultured milk. The cultured milk. This one. This is for the Good Vibes. He does it last. This. Right, so let's go to the table. Let's go put everything. Do you want to eat now? Right. So it's just me and the Good Vibes. Right, so that's getting hold for me. Just the last part. Can I hold? Lift up, I can't see it. So yes, that's for the Good Vibes and myself here. This is the spoon for cultured milk. You know, Sadza, we eat with our hands. Our hands. So let me get the juices. Like that. Spoon for the milk. So lunch is served. This is lunch. We decided to eat since Sadza takes, you know, this kind of food takes time to digest. So let me take all the day Good Vibes. We eat while still there's time and we have time for it to digest. Then we take a walk later on, we eat light foods. So homemade meal. I'll put chili. Let me get chili. Baby loves this. Where's the numbers? Right. How was I forgetting? The Good Vibes loves this numbers chili. I love this sweet chili sauce. So yes. Okay, dinner served. Sweetie, come and eat. Sweetheart. Sweet. Come eat. Right. So requested by Daily Good Vibes. So you washing your hands. I will wash my hands again, though I've been washing and washing. Then we sit and we eat.